with LazerModels. We're here today. We're going to build the Super Cobra. I'm going to go step by step on the instructions, but before we do that, I want to remind you we have a video on how to glue models together and also how to kind of separate the bag of parts you get. And so what I've done here is I've gone ahead and put everything into like-minded pieces. So I've got things that look like this and so on. You know, if you've got little pieces, stack them together, you know, group them in groups for when it comes to that point, you've got them. And then you end up with little pieces and you're not really sure if it's trash, good, whatever. So instead of throwing it out, I just go ahead and scrape it up, set it on top of the bag over here, and then we'll just wait and see if we need it. So with that, let's get going. We're going to start with step one. Step one calls for the gun. And this group of pieces here, we have number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. On the instructions, it shows you that one goes down below. So it's going to be 1, 2, and then 3, 4, 5 on top. So the easiest way to do that is the front of this is what we're working with. So on these pieces, we're going to want to line up the edges of the front. It's going to be off some on the sides. That's because it tapers, so that's exactly what we want. So grab our glue, make sure it's good. Got glue coming out, and let's get started. So we're going to start with a little bit of glue on number 1 and put that on there. Then number 3. It doesn't matter what side the number's on, except for number 1, because you want the number hidden. Okay, and as we've done this, what we've done is we've created this taper of pieces and this void. So now we get ready to put number 5 on. Being this sets under the helicopter like this, as the drawing shows, the gun, you want this piece down towards the bottom. So you just set it like that for right now. Put a little bit of glue here. Put the gun in that little hole. And that's just, let's line it all up. Now that it's lined up, let's set it to the side, let it dry. Step 2 is going to be the seats. So we're going to grab these 2 pieces. Again, because stuff are in a pile together, they look like they belong together. I put them right there, we found them. So, the seats, you've got no bump and then a bump. So, the one with the bump's like a headrest. So that's going to go back here. The one without a bump will be going down here. Okay? So what we can do, a little bit of glue, on each one of those little corners, stick these in. Just like that. Now this piece is going to go on like that, so let's put just a little bit of glue on these spots. Now this is going to be the hardest step on this seat, is to line all 4 of these up at one time and get them in place. So you just start at the front and then just slowly work your way to the back. Because as you get them in place, each one will drop down a little more. And then push it together. And then as you've got it, kind of hold it together like this. Don't push down here because it'll pop right apart. So just hold up here and then just set it there. This is going to set there. It's going to dry. That's all it needs to do. Alright, we're off to step number 3. We're going to go ahead and grab the 2 body pieces. So, the pattern's on the outside, so we want to do it like this. And then we need the bottom. Now this set of steps kind of gets a little difficult because you got to hold it together and stuff. And this is now drying because this is going to be used over here. So what I want to do first is the drawings say to put a little bit of glue right here. Okay? And then these pieces set right there and right there. But because these have these little legs, they get messed up. So what I want to do is take a couple of these pieces and just kind of set them off, for they raise it off the table. And so when you put these two pieces in now, they set. Now they're going to spread out a little bit, which is fine. So next thing we do is want to put this in here. So I'm going to turn this for you guys can see a little better. And so now that it's spread apart, we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of glue right down here. And again, these do not take a ton of glue. And I'm just going to drop it in there. What we want to do is we want that front edge flush. Okay? And then we just want to push it together like that. Now it's sitting there in place and it's perfect. So the next thing we need to do is step 4. That's going to be these goofy looking little pieces. So again, these are all numbered. The only one that is not numbered is one that says Made in USA, and that is the last one that goes on. So we've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then Made in USA. So what these do, these go right here. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of glue just on the edge of this one and that one there, and slide it in just like that. Same thing with this one, and a little bit of glue right there. Not a whole lot because you don't want to stick it gluing out the front there. And each one of these kind of tapers a little bit, so the best way to do it is just glue the sides and a little bit of glue just like that. And if any glue sticks out, just, rub it off. It's not going to hurt you. This one has a little lip in here. You don't need to put any glue on that. And you don't want to glue back here because that sticks past. So you just want to glue in the same spots you were gluing before. The seat slides back a little bit. There we are. Alright, my bad. I'm going to pull this apart real quick. I wasn't paying attention to the order they go in. It's going to go number 1 first. A little bit of glue there and down. Number 2, I'll glue there. Alright, now these 3, we already have 3 and 4 together. They seem to have decided they're not going to come apart for me. And, if you put things together wrong, if you realize right away, you can pull them apart like we just did there. Here's number 5. And then the Made in the USA one will go on the top. So it goes just like that. So it finishes out, a little bit of glue underneath. Just wipe it off. And set it like that. You can go ahead and let it dry. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for a second. I'll be right back. And then we'll go ahead and start putting the rest of the body together. I'm going to let it dry up a little bit. Alright, now that that's dried a little bit, let's go ahead and take it off of here. Set these to the side. We're going to go ahead and go to step 5. Step 5 calls for the side wings. Now you got 2 pieces here that look alike. So we want the one that's got the grooves, the 2 long grooves. This piece is going to slide in here. Make sure you put the pattern up, slide it right in here, and then slide towards the back. This other one, there is no pattern on it, so it doesn't matter. Put it in here. Now that slides towards the front. So what's going to happen is these are both going to slide together. Okay? So I'm going to take this back out. Okay, we'll go right there. And then what I'm going to do is, right in here and right in there, I'm going to put a little dab of glue. So we're going to pull this in, push it down. A little bit of glue on those two spots right there. Push those together. Then we're going to take and install the centerpiece. So this here is just going to set inside there. Our little notch here, that little notch is going to set right like that. Okay? A little bit of glue on that little notch, that's it. Turn the page over. Now we go ahead and we get the other two pieces. Now this one here we're going to do while we're moving it in together. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here. And we're just going to slide these in here and line these up. Okay? So it's just kind of lined up right there, nothing spectacular. So now what we're going to do is we're going to squeeze this together. Get a little bit of glue ready for this because this piece goes in too. So get that ready. We're going to squeeze this together. Work this piece up into the front. This is where it gets a little difficult because you're trying to get this perfectly in there. There we go. And pull it towards the back. And you want to line up these edges. Make these kind of line up here and stuff. So now there's that part. That is one of the harder steps in this particular model because you're trying to squeeze it together, trying to get that piece in while you're squeezing it. You got to make sure you squeeze it far enough for it fits in that slot. Otherwise it won't hold that temper. So with that done, we're going to go ahead and there's a whole bunch of stuff going on here. We got 3 windows. We have a roof piece, which is this one here, and it's got a little pattern on it. And then we've got this little rear piece that's going to go all in. So all of this is going to go together along with these 4 pieces here. So what I'm going to do is, this piece here is tapered. If you notice, the helicopter's tapered out. So this piece is going to go here. So squeeze it together and just set it on there for right now so you know where that's going. This piece is going to go back here and slide down. So let's get that one glued in. Now I put it in there, got it stuck. Let's see. Here we go. So a little bit of glue right here. Put this piece in. And push it down as far as you can. You want to get past these slots right here. So you want to make sure it's past that edge right there because there's a piece that goes in there. So now we can take this off. Get a little bit of glue in these 2 spots here. Right there. Back down in place. Now we have 3 windows. We look at the directions. We got a little window that goes in the middle, and it's got tab on the top and none on the bottom. The directions show that goes towards the top. So let's put a little bit of glue. Set that in place. Now we've got a big window and a little window. The little window is going to go up here And again, it's tapered, so we'll put the wider section down towards here, and it'll fit right in. A little bit of glue. Same with this one. You got to taper towards the top. So it's going to fit in like that. It shoves in behind the piece there. And then into place. Alright, so there's that. That looks like step 8. Nope, we still have these to go on. These are the little pieces that go on the ends here. So you want to make them where the teardrop is kind of towards the front. So same thing back here. And these, you've got a slot that's off-centered. So you'll put the longer section, the slot towards the front. I guess the best way to put it. So the slot will go there. And then again, slot towards the front. So just like that, kind of push them on, make sure they're set for good. That's there. Now we're going to go ahead and add these pieces. So we start with number 1. So let's get these in numerical order. Okay, so we have number 1. It's marked here. That one's going to go and just set right down there. Remember we said that piece had to be out of the way? It's for this one. So a little bit of glue and a couple spots there. Okay, just push it down. Now there's nothing to support this yet. As we add pieces, you'll start gluing it together. Number 2, make sure you put the pattern face down. So a little more glue. That way you see it from the bottom. Number 2, now what you want to do is just put a little bit of glue all the way across that area. A little bit there and there. Now this one here will start locking it together. Because number 2 sets down, and then you push it into that slot's there, and then go ahead and push the 2 sides together. That'll help hold that together. Now number 3. Number 4. Now number 5 will go in a little further. So we're going to go and put a little bit of glue on those tabs where it locks in and across here. Now there's another slot up here, so don't slide that one into that slot. That's for this guy. So this one here will slide underneath everything else and right into place. So again, a little bit of glue. And slides right into place. So there's that. Step 10 is the little prop in the back. So you're going to, this little piece and this goes through the hole there. You want to be careful not to put too much glue onto this. And I'm sure there's probably a correct side for this to go on. And you guys that have served for us, thank you very much. And I know you know the correct side. I just don't remember. So, again, thank you for your service. We're going to put that there. And you want to make sure you don't get glue on it before you can go ahead and rotate it. Now the next step. This is one of the more difficult steps as far as the order of things. All of these are all like sizes. So I want to set those to the side. You've got 3 unique pieces here. And those are the three we're going to be using. Let me set this over here for you guys to kind of see. We've got a large piece, a littler piece, and a piece with a notch. This piece here, large piece goes onto it. And then this piece. Pattern facing up. The next one is going to be the little piece with the slot. And what that's going to do is keep this centered in here. See how it spins? And so it keeps it centered. Last piece is going to be that one. Now, we can put a little bit of glue right here because it does not matter, because it's that piece spins on the outside. And then set this piece in. Now this piece is also pressure fit, so it's only going to go so far and it's going to stop. It will not go any further, so don't try to force it where it's perfectly square. It's designed that way so you can push it on and it's not going to take a lot of glue. So it's still able to turn and everything, so that's perfect. Set that to the side. Now you've got three other pieces. Now these are all going to stack. And there is no per se right way, wrong way, as far as lining them up. They do line up, these two on the side, nice and square. So if we go ahead and we take this one, put glue there, put glue on the other end, and just very little on the sides. Because you don't want the glue to ooze into other areas. So I'm going to set that right there. Get that to dry, and then we've got one more to do the same thing. A little bit of glue on the outside edges, just like that. Now this little piece, that's the one that's going inside there. So again, just a small amount of glue on these spots here. Stick them in place. Once that's done, this glue's on top here. There is a pattern. So you put a little bit of glue. Then a little bit on the sides. Now that's in place. This turns. So what you want to do right now is kind of set this to the side for a little bit. Let it dry. You can grab the next two pieces that we're going to use are going to be the rails. Now there's a front and a back. The front side kicks up, the back side does not. There was also two of these. One is just, literally just a hair thicker. Because one of them goes here and one of them goes here. See, this one doesn't want to fit there. This one's nice and tight up there. So this is the one that goes on the front. This one goes on the back. So a little bit of glue. A little bit of glue here. And then you can set it down and let it dry. Then as that's kind of drying a little bit, it's not going to dry all the way, you're going to put glue in each one of these little slots. Yep. And you can't let it dry, because if it dries at an angle a little bit, then they're not going to work. So you want to kind of do this all at once. There you go. Set that down. And it's fine right now. Next thing you've got is we've got the propeller. It's going to sit right here. So a little bit of glue. And this piece goes on top. A little bit of glue. And there's that. So the last thing we have is we've got to glue the gun in place and to make our rocket launchers. So we'll set the gun to the side for right now. We're going to grab one of these. This piece here is going to glue onto the wing right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide all of these up into two piles. And we tell you what you need and how to put them on. So as you're building this, you're going to put 3 of these with the slots in the middle. So you want to make sure those got some decent amount of glue. And then just set these in here. Okay. Now while that's wet, you want to put a little bit of glue on each side. Slide one of those on. Same thing. As you're doing this, the little tab's not going to stick out far because you're going to put a cap on it. But you want to make sure that both sides are fairly even. And now cover that end with one of these little guys. And there is no per se right or wrong way. Now these slide right onto the wing, so if you put a little bit of glue in that slot, there's one. Let's make the next one. Again. Glue there. A little more glue. We've got 2 ends to cover. Again, a little bit of glue right there. And glue in place. Last thing to do will be glue the front gun in. Do not put any glue in there. Just some glue back here. And wiggle it around a little bit. Line it up where it covers the notches on the sides. There you go. There's your Cobra. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to go ahead and do some more videos later on, and just keep checking back with us. Like us on Facebook, Instagram. We really enjoy that, and we enjoy talking to you guys, so we'll talk to you later. Have a great day.